Hello folks, today we're going to be viewing Yi-Sang's one and currently only evolved E.G.O, and that is Sunshower. Sunshower is evolved E.G.O with a 17 base and a plus 15 roll, does pierce damage, has attack weight of 7, which is good, but after the third time seeing it, you're not going to be as amazed. But before attack, get 1 sloth power up, 2 sloth damage up, and 3 protection up to all allies this turn and next turn, and on headset heal 15 SP. Which is good. You're healing 15 SP on headset, and you're healing SP by winning the clash, which will means you will be gaining 25 SP, which mostly pays for this E.G.O and sanity, so that's very, very good. Your passive, Ray of Sun after Rain, also helps with your sanity gain, because at the start of turn, all allies heal 3 SP. Now, I think this is actually like one of the shortest passives I've seen so far, and oh boy, is it actually pretty useful in some scenarios, like you're fighting that sinking frog guy. It's going to be very useful because that guy's going to be sinking and making you lose sanity. But if you're using Enclair, it's kind of, a double-bladed sword, but only for like maybe 3 IDs. So, all in all, a pretty decent passive. If you use this E.G.O, which I mean, why wouldn't you? You'll be using 35 sanity, and the resources will be 4 sloth, 2 gluttony, 2 gloom, and 2 pride. So 10 resources, that's pretty much the average for most VOVs, but still, I like the way that is distributed. 4 in one thing, 2 in another, 2 in another, 2 in another. That is pretty nice. And your resistances will change to Fatal to Wrath, Fatal to Lust, Endured to Sloth, and Ineffective to Gluttony. Interesting. Upon corroding, your roll will change to a 35 with a negative 15 roll, still doing piercing damage, and still have attack weight of 7. So, you'll be rolling a minimum of 20, which for attack weight of 7 is very good. Before attack, gain 2 sloth power up and 2 sloth damage up this turn and the next 2 turns. Now that is good. On hit, inflict 2 sloth fragility and 2 pierce fragility this turn and next turn. That is also very good. Well, it's about time we rate this E.G.O, and I think most of us know where it's going to go, pretty high up. But for the drip, I like it a lot. I like the nice little coat. I like the weapon. I don't know why, but I love the addition of the rain boots. I don't know why, but it works so well. And upon the corrosion, he changed to a furry. So I mean, it's still good. It's still phenomenal. I like the awakening way better than the corrosion, but it's still very good. So I'll get that a whopping like 8. Yeah, 8's very good. 8's good. For the strength of this E.G.O, it's pretty strong. Not because of its roll, although a 32 is not half bad, but it's because of its sloth power up and sloth damage up to allies. And it does that for the turn and the next turn, but upon corrosion, it does that for the turn, the next turn, and the next turn, which is amazing. And the corrosion, you also make them weak to sloth and pierce, which is even more amazing. So you're buffing yourself, you're debuffing allies, you got a pretty good roll. So I think this is going to be like a 9. Honestly, the only way that this could be better is if it had a higher roll. But actually, its roll is very respectable. So I think I'm going to put it at 10. For the usefulness of this E.G.O, it's very, very, very good. Boasting a pretty sizable roll, a very good attack weight. On corrosion, you're getting a very, very solid roll by having a minimum of 20. And you're buffing yourself, your allies, you're debuffing the enemies to 2 things, not only to pierce but to sloth. You are giving yourself protection on top of that. One of the negatives of using VOVs is the expensive sanity cost, but this E.G.O gets rid of that problem. On heads hit, you gain 15 sanity. On clash win, you already gain 10 sanity, so that's going to be chopping off 25, which 35 subtract 25 is 10. So you're really only using 10 sanity if you get everything right, which is not even true, because on the passive, you gain 3 SP, not just you. Every ally, including this unit, gains 3 SP every turn, which is amazing. Which means really you're only going to be losing like what, 7 sanity? I mean, yeah, the cost is still there, but I mean, that's the whole shebang about VOVs. Is they're a mighty, mighty cost, and they're mighty, mighty sanity cost. But really, the sanity cost is absolutely diluted by costing 7 sanity, unless you use it again next turn. But if you don't use an E.G.O twice in a row, then it'll only be costing you 7 sanity. So, yeah, all in all, I think that's going to be a 10 out of 10 on the usefulness scale. Yeah, that's about all she wrote. So, this E.G.O, very good, and I like it quite a bit. I find it interesting that this VOV E.G.O is all about buffing your allies, and also, well, debuffing the enemies. But I like that quite a bit. I mean, that's why G-Corp Otis is pretty phenomenal too. But, yeah, that's about it. Have a good one.